Um, Again, I'm gonna try to warn you. I want you to go over the meaning of the word that we give you and read it to yourself and focus on it and get the meat out of the meaning of the word. Because really, what we do here is we just don't read and just grab the word just casually. We go inside that word. And since it's not normal in the English sense that we comprehend, and it's more in the Hebrew and the Greek sense, you need to try to get that mindset, their mindset, rather than just your English thoughts, and it'll benefit you so much better. Now, in our lesson tonight, it started verse 23, number 16, verse 23. Now, last week, my son Frankie taught about the lesson 16, chapter 16, verse 1. And I think as you go back, think back as you look at that, I think the last part of that was, they had said something, and Sunday I went over it again. They said something about our,
they was going to gather together.
They were gathering together to go back
against Moses.
To go against Moses, right?
And then Moses told them, y'all line up. We're going to see who God's.
Yeah, Moses told them to line up. We're going to see who God, okay. And so the last verse there, in that lesson, I think it starts here something about when they pluck out their eyes or something like that.
It says, moreover, you has not brought us into the land that flowed. These is them cats talking to Moses.
Yeah, right.
Moreover, you has not brought us into the land that flowed with milk and honey, or given us inheritance of fields and vineyards. Will you put out the eyes of these men? We ain't coming up.
Right. Moses had requested them to come up and face him, so to speak. They rejected. They were not coming up. So they had no respect for Moses, neither God. Because really, remember now, when they reject Moses, they really, in reality, is rejecting God, because they're rejecting our God, our anointed one that he had chose to lead them. And by rejecting Moses and Aaron, they were really rejecting God by saying, you don't know who to pick. You're not a good, your authority, you're using the wrong, you're not using your authority right. Whatever. They were complaining against God, mainly. Okay. So when they said something about, they point toward Moses and was saying that you brought us up here, you're going to pluck out our eye. What they were saying about that, like I said, is you're going to try to pull the wool over our eyes. You promised to bring us up into the promised land, and you ain't not carrying out your promise. That's what they're saying. So now, after doing all that, we get up here now into our 23rd verse of 16th chapter of Numbers, and said, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, notice what happened here. The Lord spake unto Moses. The Lord didn't say nothing at all to those guys that were rebelling. He didn't go to them. He didn't go to the congregation. He didn't go to him. Notice whenever the Lord wanted to talk to the children of Israel, he went to Moses. Moses was his mouthpiece. God had chose him to be his mouthpiece. So God would go to Moses. And notice what it says. It said, and the Lord spake unto Moses, not the congregation again, not the guns that rebelled, but to Moses. Said he wanted Moses to relate his message. In other words, that was showing, if the Lord spoke to Moses, that was showing that God would choice was to use Moses as a spokesperson. That should have woke them some kind of way, but remember, they don't blind themselves to the truth, and they are rejecting God and God's chosen leader. Okay, now, notice what Moses was saying. Now, I've been teaching y'all for a long time, and I want you to understand that when you see that word saying, it meant that was a conversation, so to speak. It not mean that he just said something and went on. He was saying. When you are saying, it could be in the form of warning. You're warning over and over again. Or you're trying to teach, you're trying to awake. See, he's saying. saying, not just saying, and went on. But if you saying, it means that it's a continuation thing. By now, you should be able to comprehend something. Is anybody with me on that?
Mhm.
He says, and the 24th verse says, what God, as God was saying, he says, speak unto the congregation. See, he tells Moses to speak to the congregation, saying, get you up from about the tabernacle of Koran, Danhan, and what's the name here? Arab, whatever that name is. Okay, so God tell Moses to go to them, and God tell Moses what he want them to say to them, and I want you to understand something. It said, since these people, these guys that were rebellious, remember last week Moses had requested them to come to see him. Come up. They refused. So now God is saying, now this is a dangerous thing. I want y'all to catch on. This is dangerous. If God tell you to come to him and you reject God, what you're doing, you're saying that God is not worthy. You're saying that you don't care what God said. You're saying that you lost all respect for God. So in this case, this is what had happened. If y'all read this along with me, now please read along with me. You see that this is what happened. They rejected God. So now since you won't come to me, I'm coming to you. Y'all, do y'all feel that? Listen carefully, y'all. Since you won't, I ask you to come to me. Behold, I stand at the door. All ye that are heavy laden. Are you following? God said, come to me. He's begging, come. He's saying, come to me. I'm not talking about Moses right now. I want you to get a point. God is telling the people of the world right now, come to him. But if you don't come to him, he gonna come to you. Can y'all feel what I'm trying to get across? Yes, and you don't want God to come to you.
Amen.
It's a whole lot simpler if you just go ahead and commit and come to God. By coming to God, don't mean just say, oh Lord, here I am. Coming to God and speaking about this. I used to teach y'all a long time ago where everybody said, you need to come to Jesus with somebody in the problem. You need to come to Jesus, come to Jesus. They were over, come to Jesus, come to Jesus. That's fine, but you never tell nobody how to come to Jesus. You come through Jesus through scriptures. You come through Jesus through faith. You come through Jesus by learning about Jesus. As you learn about Jesus, you learn to be obedient to his word, which is given to us through the scriptures, through the spokesperson that God has chosen. This is how you come to him. You grow. Come to him means that you grow. Are you following? Into his likeness, into his image. That's how you come to Jesus. So my point of it again, since you won't come to him, since you still depend on living your way, picking things and doing your choice, how you want to do it, like these rebellious guys here was doing, God has now decided. I didn't give you accurate time because he was saying, you had accurate time. Y'all get me? Mm-hmm. So since you're not going to come, now I'm going to do some coming. And you don't want that. You see in the scripture that you don't want God to have to come to you in that sense, in the anger form. Are y'all getting it? Mm-hmm. All right. So this is what happened. So, and the 25th verse says, and Moses rose up and went unto Darren and Abram, and the elders of Egypt followed him. It says Moses rose up. That meant when Moses rose up, don't mean he just got up and said, well, I'm going. You know, that's the way you want to read. Well, I'm getting up and going. No. When Moses rolled up, there was some energy involved into his rose up. In other words, he raved up. He come to a let me see what's a good word I can use here. It's like a storm.
How about just being sick of it?
Well, that's true. But you know how a storm rises? It's like a threat. I mean, when it rises, you know, it rolls. Right. Or like let's get a term of an animal. The animal rolls. See, I don't want you to just see the Moses roll up. He just got out the chair. He just got out the chair and went down. No, rolls up in the form of something dangerous is coming about now. Mm-hmm. Are you getting me? He says, and look what happened. Moses rolled up And now, like I said, and he's going to them. But
that rose up. You kind of say it comes to this is a humble man here.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I don't know if you're taking my weakness for meekness, whatever the time, you know what I mean? Whatever y'all been doing to come at me like this, there's nothing on the books to say I did nothing wrong to you. There's nowhere where you can prove that I lied to you. There's none of this. And you're constantly going to make me be what you want me to be what you say that I am. You're going to place me in a negative light for your good.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? Just so you can look good, and it's all manufactured and fathom lies. You understand what I'm saying? So it do come to a point that I don't care what nobody say. We ain't supposed to be nobody's chump. I mean, there's a difference between being a punk and being humble. So you come to a point where as though this is got to stop. It's going to stop. I don't care if you're facing your diet, your alcoholism, your homosexuality. You got to come to a point where you got to rise up against it. And when you're doing that, you're meaning it with every intent that you have, that I'm going to crush this enemy. With me and God, we're going to crush it. There's no more backing up. I'm not doing it anymore.
Okay.
You understand what I'm trying to get across?
Yeah.
I would see that as
but that's what, right there. I'm trying to get you that. Not that he just got up out the chair, but he rode with an intent. He rode, like I said, if you see an animal coming back from arousing, like a bear arousing from his sleep, goes up. That's wrong. Okay. And the elders of Israel followed him. So now, when Moses rose up, they saw that the seriousness, if y'all watching me, they saw the seriousness of his robes. Are y'all following me? Before they were lackadaisical. They were going along with these guys. But when Moses rose, it brought about a different energy in the mindset of the elders, the one that had the wisdom. And what they do, they follow him. Don't mean that he trailed him. Don't mean they just got behind him and they marched behind. They follow him in his thought pattern. They follow him in his ready to rebuke these rebellious guys. Follow him. In other words, follow is talking about molded into the same thought pattern, the same image, in other words. Okay, now, and he spake unto the congregation. Moses spoke unto the congregation, saying, depart. Notice you got that word depart. Seriously here. Depart, I pray you, I beg you, from the tent of these wicked men, and touch nothing of theirs, lest ye be consumed in all their sins. So what he says here, Moses spoke to the congregation. Now he begged the congregation to depart, separate from them. See, it's all right. When Moses is talking about depart, it don't necessarily mean, and I don't want the church people to get all confused here. It don't necessarily mean that you got to leave out your home from your family, depart from them. The congregation will represent the family. It will represent your friends of yours, the neighborhood, the community. No, it don't mean that you got to move away from them. What it means, it don't have the same mindset. Don't do as they do. You can be live among them, but it don't mean that you have to be a part of what they're doing. So that's why he said depart. In other words, change your thought or pattern. In other words, repent, really, what Moses is saying. What y'all was thinking when y'all was against me and ready to go back, return to Egypt, I want you to depart from that. What he says, and Moses saying that he keep the word is saying, depart. In other words, for another word, you can say repent, separate your thoughts. I pray you from. Now I want y'all to understand this word from. You need to write this down, but y'all think about from like in the sense of just getting up like so. Well, I'm leaving home. Where you go? I'm leaving from home right now. It's not that kind of from. Okay, let me say it again. It's not that. Where you going? I'm leaving from home right now. Or I'm leaving from the bus stop right. It's not that kind of from. It's not that English sound kind of word of from. I pray you from. From is talking about the source. This is why it's so important, man, for y'all to write notes and stuff. Because these words don't seem right to you. Source. Source. Also mean cause. Cause. Also mean agent. Agent. I try to do that kind of slow for those that's on the Facebook there. Okay. From. Now get the picture. Look. Let's read it this way here. Depart, I pray, or I beg you. From. It's talking about the source. What is the source? I just told you that depart to talk about the mindset. Change your mind. See, the source of their thinking. The source is something where is the foot of something. It's the ingredients of something. Really, more than saying be born again. See, the source. Where you get the information from? Out of the newspaper. Lead the source. See, that's what it, can y'all kind of get the picture? The word from the source of something. All right. The cause, the reason. Why do you do this here? Moses is saying he wants you to do what? Depart from that cause, from that reason. From the agent who led you into this here. The agent, you follow me? The influence. Oh, that's,
What are some things that do cause you to act like these cats is acting now? Could it be your upbringing? Like,
what would that be? Name what would that be? What you just not saying?
I'm thinking that, like, you know what I mean? You got different things. I mean, it could come from.
I mean, no, when I say that, listen.
Right.
Which one of them words were you using the from? Now, you're right, what you're saying.
I'm talking about
but they
the
so hard to
agent.
catch on.
I'm talking about
okay, as an agent. You use an agent. Okay,
right.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's your springboard. Like,
yeah.
What, you know what I mean? So, like, it could be your upbringing.
That would be your agent.
That would be an agent. You know what I mean? I mean, like, you know, racism comes from
that could be an agent.
An agent. Wife beating.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I mean? I mean, I don't know what type
of
source you had. Source?
Yeah.
Source could be something that you heard. I mean, you've been going to church and they've been banging tambourines and you never heard nothing. You never learned nothing. So now when you go to your job or whatever the case is, and you hear a heathen or somebody that's in need of God, all you can say is, well, come on down to church.
Mm-hmm.
You can't lead them to Jesus or point them to Jesus. So you can't, you know what I mean? Well, all you have to do is praise the Lord. So, and you tell them to get a tambourine and go to hopping, or love your enemy. Okay. And you say, well, I mean, if as long as I don't see him, I can love him from afar. You know what I mean?
What about cause?
A cause could be because you've been getting your brains beat loose, or if you're a woman, let's say, and you have this thing about men, and you just have this hang up.
Okay.
Or a man.
We're still dealing with this one word from. I want y'all not to get from now. You're right on all you're saying. But for them out there that gonna be a little slow catching it, because I see Doc like he's trying to grab on because the word is making sense to you. You got it now. Okay. So if you said call, God didn't do what he said. See, that's what they were.
My cause for not, you know, doing a lot of things in my life is comfortability.
Okay,
I'm comfortable being what I am. That's why it's kind of hard moving a little forward because I'm so comfortable.
Yeah, that cause.
And that's one thing.
And
what his cause is, I can't live with that in my life. Like, I can't get comfortable. Nothing. Yeah. I mean, once I see that happening to me, I got to go. But that's still some cause. Okay. Whereas though I may run ahead and make a mistake.
Okay.
You dig? Because I'm not going to sit back and let.
All right, we ain't gonna think about more than the reader. I kept on that because I want to get that word from out your mind. Right. English tone. I want you to see that in a sense of call. It could be because you thought that God turned his back on you, like they're doing. Right. That could be your cause or your reason. Definitely. What Moses is saying is, I pray you. See, his first is depart. I'm gonna take that thing loose for you. Understand? He said depart. He got a comma back there. He just to put the comma in there just to be there. Depart. Depart jumps into that from. Depart from that cause you had. Depart from that source. Okay, then we can move on now since y'all got that. And then now since it's the agent of the tent. The tents, look at them plural word, tents. This word tent is just not talking about a little roof, a little cloth that they had to live in. Tent is talking about their livelihood. See, that was their stock. That was their bank account. That was their way of living.
Their dwelling.
Their dwelling. That's what the tent is talking about. They ain't just talking about just some old top of your head to keep the sun from shining on you. Okay? It said, tent of these wicked men. See, their whole life, their whole action, their whole breathing. They breathe and eat wickedness. Go ahead.
I watched this show. I've been in it for years. I dig the show. It's called Married for the First Time, something like that, where they take these two people from Jablit, right? And they put them together and they actually get paper wed. You know what I mean? They get married. So now they're gonna stick. They got about 6 weeks or whatever, or 8 weeks or whatever it is to hang with each other and be married for real. And at 8 weeks, if you don't want the person, then you can get a divorce. As I'm watching at first it's nice. I mean, they got the wedding, they on their honeymoon, and around about day 4 or whatever, you start seeing little, like, or if you on a date with somebody, you start seeing little things. I don't know. By the time they put them together in an apartment together, on that third day in the apartment, see, because the two people go back to their old dwelling, right? I can't smash all of my dwelling in with her dwelling and think that she's just going to not dwell hers and just live in my dwelling. And if I don't want to maneuver it in my dwelling, we ain't going to make it. She don't want to maneuver any of, you know what I mean? That ain't love. So he's saying if you're going to, depart from your dwelling, if you want to make something work, you cannot keep up with your same self.
In the tent.
And you can't do it. You got to come out of the tent, smell the breeze.
Right. So don't look at the tent, again, y'all, as just a house of cover. The tent is their livelihood, their action, their motivations, their, your way of, okay. All right. And look, and their way is wicked men. And then you got to come behind wicked men. And look what he said, and touch nothing of there. Touch nothing of there. You know what touch is talking about? Touch is not just talking about just making contact like I just touched this and that's it. Touch is talking about don't bring. Write it down till you go forget. All y'all out there, write it down, please. And go back over this thing. Touch is talking about bring. Touch is talking about to arrive. A-R-R-I-V-E. Acquire. A-C-Q-U-I-R-E. Acquire. Draw near. Next, join. All that in this word touch. It ain't talking about just putting your hand on something. Okay? So what did he so now using those words here, what is he saying? He said, all right, get away from these wicked men and do what? Don't use the word touch, use the meaning. Bring. Why would you say bring? Why bring? Let me back so we can't stay all day. You bring something. You come in from the bitterness, from okay, let's use marriage again. You come from this relationship, no wife or husband, and you bring that same junk mentality over into this new, right? You follow that wicked generation over there. So her evilness, you're gonna treat this woman according to that first one, right. Evilness. Right. Don't bring, don't touch. Don't bring, don't touch. Are you following? To arrive. Don't arrive to that same filth.
Trying to make that
just come to that
Huh?
To arrive to that. Okay. Are you feeling me? Acquire. Acquire me is what something is it's not
attain.
It's attain, exactly. Attain. Draw near. Why not draw near? Because you keep watching something long enough. If you hang around somebody long enough, you'll pick up their sayings. You know, like me and my wife were married for what, 50 years, I guess.
Oh, 50 years.
Well, we were somewhere a long time. After a while, we pick up each other's habits. Because why? Because we near. So we draw near. If you hang around somebody, when you first started out, You didn't start drinking. You hung around. You draw near. As you draw near, mean your attention and you attracted to, or is attracted to you. Whichever way it goes. That's what means drawing near. You keep watching something, sooner or later you get curiosity. And you start coming, you draw. So he said, don't do that. Stay away from it. Don't play with fire. Don't play with a snake. You know the snake gonna bite. Don't draw near. Stay away from the snake. And y'all understand? All that in that word touch. Join, well, you know what join is. Join means you become a part of it. Okay? He said, don't do that. Touch nothing of theirs. Why? This is the reason why. We're still in 26th verse. Why? Lest ye be consumed in all their sins. See, that's why. See, if you let yourself get caught in the trap, let yourself, but if you get drawn into it, it's going to be yours, and you're going to get the same hell that these guys get.
Wow.
Stay away from it.
Wow.
I got to move on. I can't stay all right. But those of you that's out there, listen to what I'm saying. Chew the cub, chew the cub, chew the cub. All right, let's move on.
So, a lot of times before you go, I know you hear these things like don't hang around because you'll get the same. All right, but that's people in the street. That's your mom, your uncle, and everybody tell you that. But when you see the Bible say that, I think it's time to listen. If you ain't gonna listen to your pop and all of them, listen to what God said. He said, "Listen, I'm telling you, when them cops come around for all of y'all thieves, and you just hanging around being an associate thief,
yeah.
When he lock up this corner, your ass is going too.
You're going to sin with him.
That. He ain't gonna stand around asking you.
Be consumed right along for that. That's it. Well, guilty or not, you're there, so to speak. I'm kind of rushing it, but okay, all right. See, for be consumed in all their sin, not your sin. You ain't even guilty, but you're there, looking on. You see what? Boy, that's your way. That bothers me.
That's because you arrived.
That should wake somebody up.
Yeah,
I ain't even got to be guilty. I know people in jail right now. I know they claim that they didn't do it, but serving life sentence because they were there with the crowd. Yeah. No, just don't follow the crowd. Anyway, let's move on. Y'all overhaul these stuff, please. I can't just cut everything down. Just take this in me and just overhaul it. Okay, let's move on. 27th verse. So they gap this word gap in Acumen get it's a Arabic. I mean in Arabic they got Arabic. TA, but in English it's TE. They get up from the tabernacle of Curran, Dan, and Aaron on every side. So now what happened here? These guys seem like they kind of heard a little something other.
Yeah, well, they know these boys like, man, you know what? I've been hey, then this goes to show you what I was talking about. And I'm gonna try to move. Remember when I was doing the lesson, I was talking about Cain?
Yeah.
The mark of Cain.
Mm-hmm.
And then a lot of folks think it's a 666 mark on his forehead, or God shot a rocket or lightning. Ain't no lightning bolt 666 written on these people on these people's head. They seeing these guys' attitudes.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? They like, man, you know what, dude? This ain't the attitude that I want. Like, and he's telling me to back up off of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting away from these guys because they stuck. Remember last week we found out they was headstrong on going back to Egypt and off in Moses.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then the people like, well, you know what? I mean, we was down at first, but I think I'm gonna take this second chance and back out.
Well, so anyway, after Moses spoke, Moses didn't run. See, Moses didn't run. He didn't back up. He went down. Since y'all won't come, that's why I wanted you to express that point. See, when Moses went there, they could hear a firm. They could hear a God coming through Moses. See, you won't come down to God. Y'all remember when I started out, I said Moses had asked y'all to come. You reject. We ain't coming up. You think you can pull the wool over our eyes? Remember last week? So now in this lesson, since you won't come up, that's why I said you don't want God to come to you.
Could this be the waterfall?
Could be.
This is.
All right, let's get it.
I just mess with you, Pop.
No, that ain't. So get.
Go ahead, man.
I ain't talking about nothing. Me lose my thought. Oh, I say about come. Since you ain't gonna come to God, like I said, God up on the cross and big. all those who heavy lady come under me. Every day we said, if you want to know the Lord, come every Sunday, come under me. But you ain't come yet. Sooner or later, God is going to come to you. These guys won't come. He didn't tell the congregation to come. He told these guys to come. So who he dealing with? Hard heads that wouldn't come. They the leaders of the rebellion, right? So God coming to them. These guys standing back watching. If you get the picture, these guys standing back watching. When God comes to you, which with them, they looking. Whoa, this thing is serious. So they decide to do what? We're going to get our hat.
Yeah.
We ain't going down with them jokers. So they got up from the tabernacle of Korah and Dathan and Aaron on every side. That means everybody, every side. See, and Dan and Dathan and Aaron came out. So they came out kind of bold and stood in the door of their tent. They stood in the door like they're going to defend something. In other words, you come to my house. I live here. I'm not talking about just a tent. You see, that is a tent. That's their house, in case.
It sounds like a gentleman.
But it comes to this tent here. Again, the tent is the livelihood. Again, I want you to see the tent in there, not just the house, the shelter, as their attitude, as their living, their attitude, their thought pattern, their way of living. So they're going to offend their thought. You know how people sometimes try to justify their faults, right, justify their wrong, right, make it right. But this is what they got. They stood. They didn't come humble. They stood like they know they on time. They know they got their thing together, and we here to defend our thought, our tabernacle. That's the church. Okay. In the door. So the door means you can't come in here. I'm blocked. I mean, it's my house. It's my door. Right. I stood in front of my door, man. All in the back behind the door belongs to me. Who are you gonna put in my spot? How many times you told me? Y'all get the drift what I'm trying to get across? Yes, okay, in my spot. He says, and the wives. They got a whole family. And the wives, and the sons, and the children. The sons and the talking. It says sons, that's their images. And the children are talking about the kin, the little boys.
Children could be talking also about guys that going to go up and have that same attitude after them.
All
like
right.
We got some of their children still in our world today.
Right. Exactly. Okay. So they stood up to defend it, and then why did their mates and stuff like that? Not just female, not just female, but their wives. That's y'all know why a long time ago I talked all about the wife, what a wife is. Frankie brings it up sometimes. It's a whole. You remember? It's a whole. Wife. I ain't talking about just a female. It's a whole. It's a weakness. It's a whole. I had a whole list of things of what the wife was. Okay. So these are spiritual I'm talking about, not just a female woman. It is a female woman now in the lesson, but the point I'm trying to get across. Don't stop at just being a female woman. Okay. So here they go. So they stood up like they're going to defend something. And look what happened. And Moses said, hereby ye shall know that the Lord has sent me to do all these work. Moses, look at here. I'm going to show you something. You're going to know today. You're going to find out that I ain't been joking. All this time, y'all don't see these works here. Y'all don't see me God used me to move that water out of the way so make a highway through the sea so y'all can get across. You see me wave at the stick over the water again, and it came back. See, Pharaoh y'all were there looking at it. You looked at that. You seen all them plagues down in Egypt. When I threw the thing on the snare and the snake come up, and then Pharaoh tried to have his little snake come up, and my snake ate up. He said, "You saw the work. Do you think I was doing that? Huh? Is that what y'all think? Huh? He giving God all the credit. That was the work. When I hit the rock, the water that came out, that was God. When y'all were down there hollering about the water and everything, when I threw the root in the water there and the water got sweet for y'all to drink, who you think? So what Moses is saying here, and Moses said, hereby Sure enough, right now, ye shall know. This know it's talking about you have a relationship, not just knowledge. No, intercourse.
Intercourse with, oh man, intercourse with this.
Oh, I want y'all to feel these words. Write it down so you don't forget them. Now, if you're going to forget them, y'all out there, write down. Don't be just think about it. No, talking about intellect mind here. That the Lord, that might picture these if you keep on to it.
No.
That the Lord has sent me to do all these work. That God has sent me to do all these work, those different works that I have told you about. For I have not done these things of my own. Moses said, I did not do the things. I'm like y'all. Unless God working through me. In other words, I'm just like a balloon laying out here. I ain't no good until God blows some air in me. Then I puff up. But when God ain't got any wind in me, I'm like you. So it ain't me that puffed up. So y'all done jumped up and said, I want to be something other. Remember, I didn't want to go. When God first came to me at the burning bush, I started saying, look here, Lord, I can't talk. And who is me to go? I ain't want to go. So what make y'all think that I jumped up and wanted the job in the first place? I ain't never wanted it. I'm trying to get away from it. So it wasn't me, but God just wouldn't let me go. Are you following me? Mm-hmm. So if you got any beef, look at God. Don't be coming and telling me a whole lot of stuff. But well, I'm trying to draw the picture. But I didn't do this on my own. The Lord is the one that did this here. He says, 29th verse, but you're going to learn today, if these men die, the common death in all men, in other words, if they die natural, if they die from old age or some kind of disease like that, okay, if they die like that, or if they be after visitation of all men, then the Lord has not sent me. So what Moses said, if these guys had died of natural death, Moses drawing up a dynamite picture here. Or visit, and write down the word visit. Visit talking about hostile. Mm-hmm. HOSTILE. Hostile intent. Not just hostile intent. INTENT. That what visit means. Hostile intent. Comma. Charge. CHARGE. Comma. Hurt. HURT. Comma. Punish. 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 Moses saying, if these guys die of just a common death, natural death, just get old or get sick or something, or the difference is, or if they be punished, are you following me? Or if they leave out here with a hostile, what hostile means? Some kind of a hate sort of thing.
I mean, something violent.
Violent sort of thing. Intent. Won't be normal. Or hurt or punished after the visitation is it. It's right down the word visitation also. It means custom, like CUSTODY.
Custody.
Yeah.
Custody.
Yeah. ORR. I'm sorry. Custody ordering. ORDERING. Custom comma.
Man.
And then ordering. ORD.
You gonna catch it.
ERING. And the next one is reckoning. RECKONING. Now listen to what Moses said. Moses said, you got to understand the word, if they be visited, that means by hostile intent, hurt, or punished. After the visitation of all men, order. In other words, God is going to order a special.
Yeah, something just designed. Like, this don't happen. Hey, don't think that, you know what I mean?
This is not real. It's not, see, it ain't no, you just say, well, he got old and died. No, it ain't gonna be that.
I know this. They was talking about the violence in Philly. We're almost up to 500 murders right now, and people still playing church. But anyway, they said about the guy. He was out there like, man, this woman went into that place over there, the cash check place, shot the woman. People just kept walking up and down the street like nothing, like it was nothing, like it was nothing. So we get immune and numb to just the shootings on the block and showing up daylight. What he's saying here is, let me explain something. Somebody gonna come out of this corner with a bazooka this time. You don't see people running around with bazookas or missiles. You understand what I'm saying? You feel something customly designed to shock the snot out of somebody. He ain't playing with his man Moses, man.
So he says, so what he said, if it come out that way, that'll mean that the Lord did not send me. Okay? Y'all with me? All right, let's move on. Now let's go on to the 30th verse then. We get the picture. But, here go Frankie, follow God's but thing.
Wow.
But if the Lord make a new thing, see that be normal. What was said? If God kill them, if they just die, or even if they die from violence and stuff like that, some house scale, pain, man kills somebody, like Frank just said about shooting. Okay, so we done got used to it. He said, but, I mean, if that happened, that'll mean that God ain't kill. So you're used to that.
I mean, God didn't send you.
I mean, God ain't send me. I mean, that doesn't normally say, well, ain't nothing, man. I mean, yeah, well, guy gets shot every day. That's what that's used to. But guess what? But the but here in the 30th verse said, but if the Lord make a new, something different, something you ain't never seen before. See, new means something that ain't never been in existence. This ain't never happened nowhere. So a new, I want you to get that word new. This ain't never happened. It's new. It's not again. It's new. And the earth opened her mouth. See, this is something that ain't never happened. Ain't nobody never died like this. They died like this now, but ain't nobody never died like this before.
From an earthquake.
That's exactly what it is. The earth opened up her mouth and swallowed them up with all that appertain unto them, and they go down quick into the pit. Then ye shall understand that these men have revoked the law. See what Moses said? They just died back there because somebody blew their head off, so you get used to that. All right, well, you say, well, ain't nothing new. But here God is going to change the whole program. This is a new thing. He said, but if the Lord make a new thing, Moses knew the Lord was going to do this, make a new thing, the earth opened her mouth. Mouth is talking about, let me tell you what mouth is. It's talking about an earthquake. We're talking about an earthquake here. But mouth itself is meaning a blowing. Means of blowing. Blowing means, way, means of blowing. MEANS, means of blowing, scattering it into corners. Blowing away. Get the picture. So what is he saying there with the mouth now? Can you imagine, get this picture in your mind? Listen to this here. This is the earthquake that the Lord is talking about. The earth will open up. And looking at the earth blowing up, wind used to blow stuff. Look what he's saying here. And when the earth opened up by blowing, the earth is really, now we get the picture. The blowing is blowing things scattered. Wind blows. See, the same thing in the air, in the mouth, it's talking about scatter into corners. So it's going to cover all the corners, wherever you're trying to hide. See, God knows your wickedness. So you may be in the corner here trying to sneak and hide, but God, you done told Moses something, but God is going to the corner. See, he's going to scatter. Come on. All right. You remember, anybody remember me preaching a sermon long years ago, and I had a broom in my hand? You remember I had that broom in my hand, the little short broom? You wasn't, I don't think you was here during that time. And I used to carry that broom to demonstrate my point. And I used a new broom and an old broom. You remember? I knew it was a new broom and an old broom. But the old broom had a point on it. Once you use the old broom, it wears on down until it gets a little peak to it.
Right.
The new broom is still
They
square.
even make the new brooms like that now.
Yeah, or they
angle them.
Oh, they angle.
Yeah,
You don't-
okay.
you don't
I ain't
already
swimming so
forget
long,
about
I don't know.
angle, yeah.
But anyway, so my point was, when you need to get into the corner, see, the new broom will sweep right past it, or the square.
Right.
But once it's been worn down, been used over, get that little
Yeah,
point
that
in it.
crack.
And I really want to clean the house. I want to get into the crack. I go and get the old broom. Get right in there. See, I can get in that crease right in there.
Yeah.
Look what God, come on, man. Y'all feel what God get across. Look what God is saying. The wind gonna be doing the blowing. The mouth is talking about the wind blowing. Scatter into corners. He going to search into the corner, the creaking of your stinking heart. The bottom of it. Lord knows my heart. That's the problem. He knows your heart. He going down to the giddy of it, into the crack of it. Blow it, blow it away. Okay, now, so this is what Moses is saying here. The Lord will go off. Now, if you can visualize this in mouth, if you visualize the, get this here, see if I can get this point across. If you visualize the earth opening up, y'all got that point? A big hole opening up. God going into the corner. The earth now becoming to be a trash can. You remember Keeman always talk about hell being a toilet? God in his broom, it is sweeping, blowing, it going into that crack he scattered. It's going to get all into the goodies out your heart. Sweep all into the center of the room. The mouth. Go into the corners. All you got, your excuses, all your lying, all your falsehood. God's judgment. This is what we talking about. God's judgment, because you wicked. And his judgment comes, you ain't gonna have hide and say no, blame nobody for nothing. I didn't listen because I didn't want to hear it. I got the real reason God do. I'm going into the crack. I'm going into the corner, scatter, where my wind is going to blow. And I'm going to sweep it right into the center. And when the earth opens up, I'm going to blow it in. But guess what? It don't blow in. It sucks in. Yeah. See, the wind now come to be a cesspool. Woo! Anybody you ever been to one of those toilets that when you first go, oh, boom! Yeah. I mean, the trash ain't got no time, man. Right. That's the picture. I'm trying to get you. Oh man, I don't
see why these boys don't jump over with them other guys that left. Like, hey, hold up, man.
It's too late now. No, it's too late. Man. It's too late. They don't reject at the door. See, they stood at the door. Come on in. You bad enough? Come on. We done told you what we thought about you when we didn't come up in the first place. You see what I mean? See, it comes to a point where it's too late. Man. God done read the heart now. You had time. Moses was saying. That's why I wanted you to work with y'all with the saying. Saying. Right. Saying, run out after a while. It becomes to be said. Yeah. See, now it doesn't say it. Now you don't stood up at the door at your little tent thought that you could defend something. All right. So now if you get that picture here, okay, swallow. Swallow means to destroy. Right now, swallow means destroy. Not just Google. But swallow and swallow. Swallow means to destroy. And put a comma to destroy. 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 And it also means swallow also means spin up. You like to spin up something? Spin up. That don't make no sense. That's why I tell you got to get these words. You got to get these words. You got to go over these words. Put them in your mind. Put them in your mind. Put them in your mind. Don't just read them and go on. Forget about it. Spin up. What do you think about why I say? You understand destroy. You got that right. What do you think about spin up? What are you talking about spin up? What they got to do with it?
Like a tornado?
Huh?
Like a tornado?
Spin up.
Spin. S-P-I-N, right?
No. Spin up. S-P-E-N-D.
Oh, okay. Wrong spin.
S-P-E-N-D.
Yeah.
S-P, what is it?
S-P-E is spend. Spin up.
Spin up.
Just kind of
S-P-E-N-D.
Just use you.
There you go. Yeah. You don't spit all. Yeah, you don't spit all of your opportunity here. Okay. That's why I go swat. You had time. Remember, Moses was saying. I kept telling you. He didn't just say. He said, "You go and tell the people saying." You got time. Why he's saying, not saying. You spin it up. Okay. He says, swallow unto them. And they, still in the 30th verse, spin up unto them, and they go down quick into the pit. The pit is talking about hell, Hell. You can say grave or you can say Hades. It's still talking about hell. Now, the Jehovah's Witnesses like to be talking about some kind of Hades, which is just a 6 feet grave. They like to talk about that. But the pit is always talking about hell, where God is actually going to get rid of you. Hell, where it's genuine hell. Okay? He says, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked the Lord. The sad part of it is there are going to be others learn from your mistake. They're going to, boy, y'all really didn't mess up, man. Wow. See, that's why I be talking about when I be seeing young guys, see guys on drugs and stuff. You looking at this guy. You said that, you raised up looking at him. And you didn't learn nothing. You know, and that's where we at. All of us, me, and everybody else, we done it. Looking right at it, but we still thought seen something that we thought was cute in it. And here we go.
He's a good looking dude though, man.
And so
good looking girl, he good looking.
So here we go. Are you following? He said, all right, now all this got to take place. And when this will take place, and they quicken to the point, then ye shall, you ain't understand till all this has happened, that these men have provoked the Lord. Then you'll see their true colors, what they really were. So you're going to learn from it. And the sad part about it is the ones that's going to be sucked in, they learn too. That's when they understand. Oh, boy, feel what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you back here, you learn from it, but others learn from you what not to do. You follow me? And you learn in the process of hell. Oh.
Yeah.
But you're gonna learn one way or the other. You're gonna understand, but it may be too late. Man, that's why we cry so hard. Please, somebody get your life together. All right, let's move on. Okay, you got it. I'm late. How much time I got it?
About 15 minutes.
Let me move on there. All right, that day before the Lord. And it came to pass as he, 33rd verse, and it came to pass as he had made an end of his speaking. See, but end of the speaking, they had time. All that time, God would be mercy and graceful. But he was speaking, he didn't just say it. All these words that the ground crave of thunder that were under their feet. That's the not under their feet, under them. That's the earthquake. Crave is talking about rip. That word crave is talking about rip. R.I.P. Break, bust, divide, thunder. Okay, among. So in other words, right up under them, the earth just begin to split. The thunder, and the earth opened her mouth. Again, that's the mouth. Remember I told you the mouth was mean the blood. Mouth and swallowed. I told you what swallow was, them up. And their houses, all the possessions that they had. And when they said and their houses, see, they were renowned men, they were businessmen, they were lawyers, they was big time preachers, had the Cadillacs and the camels had brand new shoes on them and you follow me? And the houses, they didn't have no tent, they had houses. Wow. You poor guys, y'all had a little regular tent. But I mean, these guys had, okay. You were a big time rapper, man. I mean, you sold millions. The boy that I'm not coming down on him. The boy that them kids got trumpeted, killed down there at the rap thing. 50 what? He had 50,000 people to come there. Well, man, that 50,000. I mean, you coming? I can't see how in the world. What kind of guy? I didn't even know nothing about him. Somebody tried to tell me who he was. That's how much I cared about it. But I'm just saying 50,000. So now you on the top of the moon. I'm not coming down on him. I'm just saying, I'm just using for this example. You're on the top of the moon. Every time you rap, you got 50,000 come. You consider all the dollars the pound in 50,000 at $1 a head. Just say for instance. Every time I stand on stage, I get 50,000. Come on, man, that's a lot of dollars coming. And I'm rapping 5 nights a week. But guess what? Look where it ends at. Since you don't know the Lord Jesus Christ. See, all that, you and your houses, okay. And all the men, all your agents, all your promoters, all of the contain, all of them will get rich right along with you. Unto unto Korah and all their good. Okay. 33rd says, and all they and all that pertain to him, pertain to the valuables, went down alive into the pit. Now, come on, man. Look, listen. Y'all see that kid went down alive. Come on, man. That mean, wait a minute. That means, and I keep trying to tell you, when you go into hell, you may be crazy here on earth. I want to be crazy. You may be high, don't feel the shot, the pain, yeah. But you're going to be sober in here. Remember the rich man? Yeah. That man had his mind was functioning 100 degrees. He had 20 vision.
The boy, when the finger came through on Daniel, they was in there partying, getting drunk. My man sobered right up when he saw that finger, say, you have been weighed and you've been found wanting. All right.
See, so that coming up. In other words, see, I want you to get the picture here. They and all their pertaining to them, all that they possessed, the power, the authority that they thought they had, went down alive. Man, look at the word alive. You aware, you feel it. You able to comprehend it. You able to understand because you're alive. You're not dead. You're not out of your mind. Alive unto the pit. Go ahead.
I don't know, but God is doing this today, trying to call, and that's why I be getting. I mean, I don't be getting upset, but I get when I hear the niceties and all of that stuff about God making a big chunk. That's why I kind of was sticking on you about that waterfall thing. Like that's God also. It's Him. And when you sitting and you looking at California when they had them earthquakes, they show you the gap of these fault lines. You see cars driving, going in. You understand what I'm trying to say? You're driving, and all of a sudden the earth opened up, and you see the stones, the inner of the earth. Are you did? I tell you what still gives me chills every time I see the picture or it live. Every 911, September 911 that comes up, they show a picture of a guy that done jumped out. Now this man is still alive because you see him wiggling like. I don't know. Like as you come in, what is on your mind? Like, oh man, like come on, man. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. It's a drafted of the picture. You like if you get
the journey to death.
Can you
deal with that?
And we always looking at it.
Feel the journey. The way you do, you feel the journey to death, to hell.
You looking at it. I mean,
like
aware.
And that's how we should be feeling about when we see our loved ones, our enemies on their journey to death. That's the reason why I sound the way I sound and say what I say and try to crack the snot out people with this Bible. Man, I'm not playing no games, and neither was Moses. You ain't playing no games. God ain't up there playing no games. And God definitely, as we read here, ain't joking.
Okay. So we got that picture alive. That came. I see it came alive to you. Sure.
I see two people shooting 500 people up the day.
We got to go here now.
All right, man. Let me go to bed.
And the earth closed upon them. Remember, God said, Moses said, God gonna make a new thing. Now, earthquake. Wait, before you go.
I can hear you.
Okay, earthquakes happens. They open up. You ever hear one close itself back together again?
No.
Dear God, man. I'm trying to.
That's the new thing right there.
This is, he's saying, God gonna show you, God gonna bury you, God gonna put you in, then throw the dirt on top of you.
Right.
He buried you. In other words, once he buried you, that means you're done.
Right.
In other words, he did the whole thing, dug the hole, and covered you up. The whole funeral program going on here. You know how you see the undertaker throw the dirt on? Okay. And they purge or write down purge. Purge means wonder away. WANDER, away. Put a comma. Also mean not escape. Not escape. It also means be undone. That's what purge means. from among the congregation. So when I told you earlier what from is, go back to the word from again. From me, from the source, from the call, from the agent, okay? Among the congregation.
Mm-hmm.
And all Israel that were around about them flee at the cry of them. So all the Israel that were around about, they flee at the cry. They said, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
For they said, let the earth, perhaps lest the earth swallow us up also. So
I'm out.
I'm out of here. Yeah. I'm getting my hat.
Yeah.
It says, and there came out a fire from the Lord and assumed the 250 men that offer incense. So there were them guys that the 250 they got together. Remember they had got their little army together with 250 men that got. God said, you don't get away either.
Right.
Now while they was in there burning incense, looked like they was in there doing something in the tabernacle. They was in there, they was out of place. They wasn't supposed to be in there doing that because they wasn't priests.
Mm-hmm.
God had called them to do what they're supposed to do. They were supposed to be in the service that God had told them to do to keep the piano dusted off or whatever God had them to do. They done took the wrong spot. And what it was, they were calling, making their own, for their own personal or attention or their own personal authority, rather than giving God his glory, his authority. They were trying to, be selfish about their own personal authority. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
So God said, okay, you don't get away either. I did a drafted out there, but I'm going to do another draft also inside the temple, inside the congregation. All right, God bless you. I guess we're on time. Here you are.
Amen. We want to thank the Lord for straightening out some things there in our minds. I actually